Today, are you willing to begin living from a higher place inside yourself? A place of limitless love, light, and joy? Not tomorrow, not when everything is fixed, not when circumstances finally cooperate, but today, exactly as you are, exactly where you are. You see, my dear, so many people believe that life changes when the outside changes, when the job comes, when the relationship improves, when the body looks different, when the fear goes away. And yet, gently, lovingly, I want to remind you of something very important. Life does not respond to what you say you want. Life responds to what you are vibrating. That is the language the universe understands. Not effort, not struggle, not pleading. Vibration, feeling, inner tone. Let me say that again, because repetition brings awareness, and awareness is the beginning of healing. The universe is always responding to the emotional frequency you are offering. When you live in fear, your world contracts. When you live in love, your world expands. When you live in joy, opportunities seem to find you without effort. This is not magic. This is alignment. Many of us were taught to force change, to push ourselves, to discipline our way into happiness. And yet, force always creates resistance. Pressure always creates contraction. Love creates expansion. Love opens doors. Love softens the body. Love invites life to cooperate with you instead of pushing back. So I want to ask you something very gently, and I want you to really feel into it, not answer from your head, but from your heart. What is the emotional atmosphere you are living in most of the time? Is it tension? Is it worry? Is it self-doubt? Or is it kindness toward yourself? Is it openness? Is it a quiet willingness to trust life just a little more? You see, vibration is not something you need to study or analyze. You already know it. You feel it. Your body knows it. Your breath knows it. And when your inner world shifts, even slightly, the outer world must follow. It cannot do otherwise. Now, one of the fastest, gentlest ways to shift your vibration, and I say this with absolute certainty, is gratitude. Gratitude is not a polite habit. Gratitude is not pretending everything is fine. Gratitude is a frequency switch. It moves you out of lack and into presence instantly. And the beautiful thing is, gratitude does not require anything big to be grateful for. It only requires awareness. Right now, in this moment, you can be grateful for your breath. Notice it moving in and out of your body without effort. You are being breathed by life itself. You can be grateful for the surface beneath you, supporting you. You can be grateful for this day not because it is perfect, but because it is new. And every new day is a fresh canvas. When you say thank you, even softly, even awkwardly, something inside you relaxes. The nervous system softens, the mind loosens its grip. Gratitude brings you back into the present moment, and the present moment is where your power lives, not in yesterday, not in tomorrow, right here. And you don't need to wait until you feel grateful to practice gratitude. That is another misunderstanding. You practice first, and the feeling follows. Gratitude is a choice before it is an emotion. Each time you choose it, You lift yourself just a little higher, and those little lifts add up. They always do. Now, let us talk about something that quietly lowers vibration more than almost anything else: self-criticism. That harsh inner voice, that constant commentary about what you should have done better, who you should be by now, why you are not enough yet. My dear, self-criticism is not motivation. It is violence turned inward, and it drains your energy faster than any external problem ever could. So many people believe they must fix themselves before they can love themselves. And I want to say this as clearly and as lovingly as I can. You do not love yourself because you are perfect. You become whole because you love yourself. Love is not the reward at the end of the journey. Love is the path itself. Let me repeat that, because this is one of the most important truths you will ever hear. You do not need to change in order to be worthy of love. Love is what creates change. When you love yourself as you are, the changes that come are gentle, supportive, and lasting. When you reject yourself, even your successes feel empty. I used to say, and I want you to really hear this, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Not someday, not when things improve, now. And if part of you resists that sentence, that is not a failure. That is simply information. It shows you where healing is needed, not where you are broken. Self-love does not mean ignoring growth. It means creating a safe inner environment where growth can happen naturally. Love is the solvent that dissolves fear. Love melts guilt. Love softens anger. When you stop attacking yourself, your vibration rises automatically. You don't have to force it. It happens because resistance is gone. Think about how you speak to yourself when you make a mistake. Would you speak that way to a child you love? Of course not. And yet, your inner child hears every word you say inside. That child is still listening. And what that child wants more than anything else is kindness. So today, I invite you to try something very simple, very powerful. When you notice self-criticism, don't fight it, don't argue with it. Just pause and say, I choose to speak to myself with love. You don't have to believe it fully. You only need to be willing. Willingness opens the door. Willingness raises vibration. Willingness invites life to support you. And as you practice this gently, imperfectly, patiently, you will begin to notice changes. Not dramatic fireworks, but quiet shifts. You breathe more easily. You react less. You trust yourself more. Joy feels safer. Peace feels familiar. Love feels possible. Raising your vibration is not about becoming someone else. It is about releasing what you are not. It is about letting go of fear-based habits and returning to your natural state, which is love. Love is who you are. Everything else is learned. So as we sit here together, I want you to feel into this truth. You are already connected to limitless love, limitless light, limitless joy. You are not reaching for it. You are remembering it. And every time you choose gratitude over lack, kindness over criticism, love over fear, you step more fully into that remembrance. You don't need to do it all at once. You don't need to do it perfectly. One loving thought at a time is enough. One gentle breath, one moment of appreciation, one act of self-acceptance. Life responds to that. The universe listens to that. And slowly, beautifully, your world begins to reflect it back to you. So I will leave you with this gentle invitation, not as an instruction, but as a possibility. What would your life look like if you allowed yourself to live today from love instead of fear? And if you are willing just a little, you may begin to find out. Before we go any further, I want to ask you something very gently. Are you allowing yourself to be who you are right now, without apology? Not the version you are trying to become, not the version you think would be more lovable, but the one who is sitting here listening, breathing, feeling, doing the best they can with what they know today. Because this is where so much healing begins, my dear. The world does not respond to who you wish you were. It responds to who you are willing to be. And when you accept yourself, even a little more than before, something very quiet and very powerful shifts. Life begins to feel safer. Love feels closer. Relationships soften without you trying to fix them. You see, the outer world is always a mirror. Not a judge, not a punisher, a mirror. The level of love and acceptance you receive from others is often a reflection of the level of love and acceptance you give yourself. And I know that can feel uncomfortable to hear at first, but it is also incredibly freeing, because it means you are not at the mercy of other people's behavior. You are connected to your own power. You do not need to be perfect to be loved. Let me say that slowly so your body can hear it. You do not need to be perfect to be loved. Love is not attracted to perfection. Love is attracted to safety. And safety comes from authenticity, from being at ease with who you are, from not hiding, not shrinking, not performing. When you feel safe being yourself, you send a very clear message to life. I am available for real connection. And life responds. People respond. Opportunities respond. Not because you demanded it, but because you aligned with it. Many people spend their lives trying to earn love by pleasing, by fixing, by proving, by overgiving. And yet love cannot be earned. Love can only be allowed. And the doorway to allowing love is self-acceptance. Not self-improvement first, acceptance first. Now, as we move deeper, I want to talk about something many people misunderstand when they hear words like light or higher vibration. Some people think living in the light means always being positive, always calm, always smiling. And that misunderstanding creates so much pressure and so much shame. Living in the light does not mean denying your darkness. It means seeing it clearly without punishing yourself. Light is awareness. Light is understanding. Light is honesty with compassion. Light says, I see this pattern, and I choose not to attack myself for having it. That is real spiritual maturity. You don't raise your vibration by fighting your old beliefs. You raise your vibration by noticing them, by gently saying, this is something I learned. This is not who I am. When you stop resisting your inner world, it begins to relax. and when it relaxes, it changes. So if fear shows up, you don't need to banish it. You can say, I see you. Thank you for trying to protect me. I am choosing love now. If sadness appears, you don't need to judge it. You can let it move through. Emotions are energy in motion. They want to pass. They get stuck only when we fight them. This is why I say, you do not heal by being perfect. You heal by being present. Awareness alone is transformative. When you shine light on an old belief, not with anger, but with curiosity, it begins to dissolve naturally, just as darkness disappears when light enters a room, without effort, without struggle. And this brings us to forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of the most misunderstood concepts in healing work. Many people think forgiveness is about being good, or spiritual, or morally superior. And that misunderstanding keeps people trapped in resentment for years. Forgiveness is not about the other person. Forgiveness is about freeing your own energy. Resentment ties you to the past. It keeps you vibrating at the frequency of the wound. When you hold on to anger, you carry the other person inside your body. And my dear, that is far too heavy a burden to carry. Forgiveness does not mean you approve of what happened. It does not mean you excuse behavior. It does not mean you forget or allow it again. Forgiveness means you choose not to let the past control your present. It is an act of self-respect, a decision to reclaim your life force. You forgive because you want peace. You forgive because you deserve freedom. You forgive because you are ready to move on, and you do it in your own time, in your own way. There is no rush. There is only readiness. Sometimes forgiveness begins with a very small sentence. I am willing to release this. You don't have to feel forgiving yet. Willingness is enough. Willingness opens the door. And when the door opens, energy shifts, slowly, gently, safely. Now let us talk about joy. Joy is often treated as a luxury, something that appears after everything is resolved. And yet joy is a practice. Joy is a discipline of attention. It is choosing where you place your focus. It is choosing how you respond. Joy does not mean ignoring pain. It means not letting pain be the only story. You can be healing and joyful at the same time. You can be learning and joyful. You can be uncertain and joyful. Joy is not the absence of difficulty. It is the presence of aliveness. Each day, you practice joy when you choose to notice what is working, when you choose to appreciate something small, when you choose a softer reaction instead of a harsh one. These choices are not random. They are trained, and the more you practice them, the more natural they become. Think of joy as a muscle. At first it may feel weak. That does not mean it is not there. It means it needs use. Every moment of appreciation strengthens it. Every gentle response nourishes it. And soon, joy becomes a stable state, not a fleeting emotion. And finally, my dear, I want to speak to those of you who are tired, those of you who feel overstimulated, overwhelmed, burned out. High vibration does not require you to move faster. Often, it asks you to slow down. Stress scatters energy. Calm gathers it. When you slow your breath, your vibration rises naturally. When you pause, your nervous system resets. Peace is not created by effort. Peace is revealed by stillness. Even one deep breath can change your entire inner landscape. You do not need to do more to heal. You may need to do less. Less pushing, less rushing, less judging. Slowing down allows your natural harmony to return. And from that harmony, clarity arises. Energy returns. Joy feels accessible again. So if you are feeling exhausted, let that be a message, not a failure. Let it guide you back to yourself. Rest is not weakness. Rest is wisdom. And when you honor your need for rest, your vibration lifts without effort. As we move forward together, I want you to remember this. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not doing it wrong. You are unfolding. And every moment of awareness, every act of kindness towards yourself, every breath taken with intention is moving you into greater love, greater light, greater joy. And perhaps the most important question to hold gently now is not, how do I become better? But how can I be kinder to myself today? Because from that kindness, everything else grows. We will continue from here. I want to begin this part by sharing something very personal with you. There was a time in my own life when I truly believed that if I just understood things better, if I just tried harder, thought more positively, repeated the affirmations more forcefully, then my life would finally change. And yet, even with all that effort, certain patterns kept returning. The same feelings, the same fears, the same reactions. And I remember sitting quietly one day and realizing something that changed everything for me. I was trying to live from my conscious mind while my subconscious was still running the program. That was a very humbling moment and also a very freeing one, because it helped me understand this gentle truth. You are not living your life from what you know. You are living your life from what your subconscious believes is safe and familiar. And when you understand that, you stop blaming yourself. You stop asking, what's wrong with me? And you begin to ask a much kinder, much more powerful question. What is happening inside me that wants to be seen and loved? You see, my dear, the subconscious mind is not logical. It does not respond to willpower or force. It responds to feeling. It responds to repetition. It responds to safety. This is where vibration is truly created, not in the surface thoughts, but in the deep inner atmosphere you carry within you. And if you want to raise your vibration in a lasting way, you must be willing to gently enter that inner space. So I invite you now, as you listen, not to analyze, not to do it right, but simply to imagine, because imagination is the language of the subconscious. Visualization is not pretending, it is communicating. Imagine yourself standing before a doorway. This is not a physical door. This is a doorway into your inner world. And notice how safe it feels. There is no danger here. There is no judgment here. This is your space. You are allowed to be here. As you step inside, you find yourself in what I like to call your inner room, the room of your subconscious. And it is exactly right for you. Maybe it is filled with light. Maybe it is quiet. Maybe it feels warm and welcoming. Or maybe it feels neutral and calm. Whatever you notice is perfect. There is no wrong experience here. In this room, there is another door. And on this door are written very simple words. My true frequency. Not the frequency you show the world. Not the frequency you think you should have. Your true frequency. The one you live from every day. And as you place your hand on that door, I want you to remember this. Nothing behind this door is there to harm you. Everything here has been created by you, for you, in an attempt to keep you safe. Even the old patterns, even the fear, even the habits you don't like, they all began as protection. When you open that door, you may notice feelings, sensations, memories, or perhaps just a sense of knowing. Whatever appears, you do not need to fix it. You do not need to analyze it. You are simply witnessing. And witnessing without judgment is one of the most healing acts you can offer yourself. This is how deep healing begins. Not by changing the program aggressively, but by letting the subconscious know, I am here now. You are safe. And when safety is present, change happens naturally. Now, as you remain in this inner space, I want to introduce you to another presence. This presence has always been with you, even when you felt lost, even when you felt alone. This is your higher self, not a distant being, not something outside of you. It is the wisest, calmest, most loving part of your own consciousness. Your higher self does not criticize you. It does not shame you. It does not pressure you. It only guides, and it guides with kindness. So imagine now that your higher self steps forward. You may sense it as light or warmth, or simply a feeling of deep reassurance. And notice how your body responds. Most people feel a softening, a relief, a sense of being understood without having to explain anything. Your higher self looks at you and sees everything, your efforts, your struggles, your intentions, your courage. And there is no judgment here, only compassion. If your higher self had a message for you right now, it would not be harsh. It would be gentle. It might sound like this: you are doing better than you think, or there is nothing wrong with you, or you can relax now. And I want you to know something very important. Guidance from the higher self always feels calming, never frightening. If a voice inside you feels harsh, urgent, or punishing, that is not guidance. That is fear. And fear does not lead. Fear only reacts. So take a moment now to simply receive. You do not need to ask questions. You do not need to demand answers. Presence itself is enough. The subconscious listens. The nervous system relaxes. Vibration shifts quietly. This is how loneliness dissolves, not by being surrounded by people, but by reconnecting with yourself. When you remember that you are never truly alone, the world feels different. You feel supported from within. And that support becomes the foundation for everything else. Now, let us bring this beautiful inner work into daily life. Because high vibration is not created in one meditation or one emotional peak. It is created through rhythm, through consistency, through gentle daily choices. In the morning, I encourage something very simple and very powerful: mirror work. When you look into your own eyes and say, "I love and approve of myself," you are speaking directly to the subconscious. You may not believe it at first. That is not a problem. The subconscious learns through repetition, not logic. Each time you say it, a new pathway forms. During the day, awareness becomes your practice. Notice your thoughts, not to judge them, but to recognize them. When a fearful thought appears, you can gently say, "I choose a new way of thinking." That is all. You don't need to fight the old thought. You simply redirect. Over time, this becomes natural. And in the evening, release becomes your gift to yourself. Before sleep, you let the day go. You say, "I have done enough. I am safe to rest." You hand everything you are carrying to life, to love, to the intelligence that breathes you. Sleep is not just rest for the body, it is healing for the subconscious. This daily flow is not rigid. It is not another task list. It is a loving rhythm. And when you live this way, your vibration rises without effort, because you are no longer fighting yourself. You are cooperating with yourself. My dear, you do not need to overhaul your life to live at a higher frequency. You need to be kinder. You need to slow down. You need to listen inwardly. Your subconscious is always listening. And when it hears love instead of criticism, safety instead of pressure, everything begins to reorganize itself. So as we close this part, I want to leave you with a feeling rather than a command, a gentle knowing. You are already connected to the wisdom you seek. You are already guided. You are already learning how to live from a deeper place. And perhaps tonight, or tomorrow morning, or at some quiet moment, you will remember this inner room, this doorway, this loving presence within you. And you will realize that raising your vibration is not about becoming someone new. It is about coming home to who you have always been. I want to share something I have learned over the years, something I've watched quietly again and again in real people living real lives, not in theory, not in books, in presence. And if you are still listening at this point, it tells me something important already. A part of you is beginning to recognize yourself. So let me speak to you gently now, not to convince you of anything, but to help you notice. When a person's vibration is genuinely high, not forced, not performed, not positive, on the surface there are signs. They are not dramatic. They are not mystical. They are observable, and you don't need to believe in them. You only need to see whether you recognize even one of them in yourself. The first sign is very simple and very telling. People feel comfortable around you. They may not know why. They may not even like you in a logical way, but their bodies relax in your presence. Conversations soften, defenses lower. This is not because you are trying to be nice. It is because your inner state feels safe, and safety is felt before it is understood. The second sign is subtle but powerful. The energy of a room shifts when you enter it, not because you speak loudly or take attention, but because your nervous system is calm, and calm is contagious. Peace organizes chaos without effort. You don't have to manage the room. Your presence does it for you. The third sign surprises many people. Strangers feel drawn to share their personal stories with you. They tell you things they didn't plan to say, not because you have answers, but because you can listen without judgment. And when judgment is absent, truth feels safe to come out. Now notice something important. None of these signs require you to be special. They require you to be present. As vibration deepens, the signs change form. The fourth sign is this: you react less and observe more. You still feel emotions, but they do not hijack you. There is a pause now, a space, and in that space, you choose how to respond. That pause is a sign of inner alignment. The fifth sign follows naturally. You are no longer pulled into drama, not because you are superior, but because your system no longer resonates with chaos. Drama requires participation. When you don't feed it, it dissolves. You may still witness it, but you don't live inside it. The sixth sign often feels almost magical, but it isn't. Life begins to synchronize. You meet the right people at the right time. You arrive just when you need to. Things flow with less force. This is not luck. This is alignment. When your inner frequency is clear, you match with what belongs to you. Then there are deeper signs, quieter ones. The seventh sign is profound. You feel peaceful without needing a reason. Nothing special has happened. Nothing has been solved. And yet, you are okay. This peace is not excitement. It is steadiness. It is home. And the eighth sign may be the most mature of all. You trust the process even when results are not visible yet. You don't panic. You don't collapse into doubt. You continue gently, knowing that unseen roots grow before visible flowers appear. This is not blind optimism. This is grounded trust. These signs are how you distinguish true high vibration from forced positivity. Forced positivity is tense. True alignment is relaxed. Forced positivity avoids pain. True alignment can sit with pain without losing itself. So now I want to ask you something very softly. As you listen, can you recognize even one of these signs in yourself? Not all of them, just one. If you can, that is not an accident. It means something in you is already shifting, already remembering. And before we close, I want to offer you a very simple integration practice. 3 minutes, no effort, no performance. Place your hand on your heart. Slow your breath just a little, and quietly inside say, I am living in limitless love, light, and joy. You don't need to feel it fully. You don't need to prove it. You are simply allowing your system to hear a new truth. And let me leave you with this, from my heart to yours. You do not need to become someone else to raise your vibration. You only need to return to who you truly are. And if you've stayed until here, perhaps you already are.